Okay, so we got the shock and spring back together, and what I did to make it easier for myself was that anytime there's a metal to metal contact, I would put some just general grease on it. So on the perch here, this is an adjustable strut, so between the collar here and the bottom perch I put some grease, and between the perch and the spring I got some grease there, and between the upper perch or plate and the spring here I got some grease there. My reasoning is that while it's metal to metal, it may smooth out any kind of squeaks in the future because there's grease. And also when I put this back, if I don't have this and the 3 bolts here aligned perfectly, it's easy to twist the shock and have this align any way I want. So we're going to demonstrate that now for you. Alright, so how about put it on here. Okay, so here's our demo of why I greased all those parts. So when you put this in, the bolts will go into the holes, and you're going to find that, hey, this thing doesn't really line up with everything else. But if it's all grease, you can turn it quite easily. It's not that bad. Okay, and this is just a regular screwdriver, and you can twist it to the angle that you need it so all the bolts will fit. So that's why I'm doing it. Alright.
Recording.
Okay, so where we left off last time was when we took the shock out. The lower control arm is loose. One of the bracket here has been taken off. So now that we have the strut all assembled, it's going to go through up here, through the upper control arm, into the holes there, and I'm going to line it up with the 3 bolts. After that, I'm going to use my screwdriver to align it so the bottom part will fall into this bracket. And that's what we're going to do now.
Might be better to actually work around it.
Yeah. Got it? Alright.
Okay, 2 hands is a good idea here because I'm holding things out of the way while he inserts it into place. High enough?
There we go.
Ouch. Rip.
Yeah. Good. Are you still filming?
Yeah. 2 hands here, then somebody can hold it in while we'll put the nuts on so that it won't go anywhere. Okay, there's one on finger tight. Okay, I had to put the camera down while I was doing that, so I just got the bolts, the washers and bolts, the 3 of them on there finger tight for now.
Okay.
Okay, so now we're lining it up.
So this is when everything that is grease comes in handy. So you can see that this part here doesn't really line up with this part. So what I do is I put my screwdriver here and just give it a bit of twist until it does, or until I think it's lined up. Okay, so that's why we do it. Okay, so these shocks are probably not perfectly symmetrical, the bottom part, so I found that this hole will line up with this one, but the back hole won't. So I'm thinking I'm gonna just turn this around 180 and make the front the back and the back the front. I have to stick it in from the back.
Okay, this part here is another pain in the butt. It's very hard to line it up. You're gonna take you do a lot of wiggling, a lot of poking around, a lot of pulling things out of the way. So don't expect this part to be easy. Persist and you'll get it lined up. It's a very precise fit, very precise lineup, so you got to get the exact millimeter before the bolt will go through. Okay, start again.
Okay, so a lot of swearing, cursing, and praying to God. It's through, and now we're putting back the deflector for the brake cooling, the washer, and the bolt. I'm just gonna hand tighten it right now, and then I'm gonna go up there and tighten the bolts up top, and then start putting the control arm back to the this piece here. Okay, and that this part here actually does control the alignment, but I think I mentioned that I'm going to get this car aligned anyway, so the alignment guys can deal with all the adjustment here, and that's it.
So we didn't record every last little bit of putting it together, but you get the gist of it. It's basically the reverse of the taking it apart. Just check in the description below and it'll show you the taking the assembly out, and we just did that in reverse basically. Now, one thing to really be cautious of here, once you've changed the shocks, you have to get an alignment done, but there's a catch. It's not the same as your average domestic car. You can't just go to any shop and get the alignment done like you can pretty much every other car. These cars have to settle. So you don't want the car lifted. You want to drive it for about 100 kilometers, and then when you take it to the shop to get it aligned, you make sure that they absolutely do not jack up or lift the car off its wheels. Otherwise, it would need to be settled again. But often the shops will do that because they want to inspect the bushings and all that kind of stuff. Don't let them do that. When you get the alignment done, get it aligned after you've driven it for about 100 kilometers, and make sure they absolutely do not lift the car to do it. Because if they do, and they adjust the alignment, once it settles, the alignment will be out again. So that's one thing to remember. So it's best to go to a shop for the alignment where they've already worked on and familiar with 928s. Thanks for watching. I hope this helps you. Now you can decide whether or not you want to take on the challenge of changing your shocks.